Happy day students, welcome to SAN Academy Pallikarnai. This is class 8, Social and Political Science, chapter 5, Judiciary. Topics to be covered today. What is the role of judiciary? What is an independent judiciary? What is the structure of courts in India? What are the different branches of the legal system? Does everyone have rights to access to the courts? Let us see what is the role of the judiciary. Dispute resolution. The judicial system provides a mechanism for resolving disputes between citizens and the government, between two state governments, and between the center and state governments. Judicial review. As the final interpreter of the Constitution, the judiciary also has the power to strike down particular laws passed by the Parliament if it believes that these are a violation of the basic structure of the Constitution. This is called judicial review. Upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Every citizen of India can approach the Supreme Court or the High Court if they believe that their fundamental rights have been violated. What is an independent judiciary? Indian Constitution protects against any sort of partial judgment. The legislature and the executive cannot interfere in the work of the judiciary. It protects the fundamental rights of citizens in approaching the courts. Now, let us see the various structure of courts in India. There are three different levels of courts in our country. The courts that most people interact with are what are called as subordinate or district courts. Each state is divided into districts that are presided over by a district judge. Each state has a high court, which is the highest court of the state. At the top is the Supreme Court that is located in New Delhi and is presided over by the Chief Justice of India. The decisions made by the Supreme Court are binding on all other courts in India. Thus, we have an integrated judicial system. Now, let us see the different branches of the legal system. Criminal law. It deals with conduct or acts that the law defines as offences. For example, theft, harassing a woman to bring more dowry, or murdering. It usually begins with the lodging of an FIR, that is, First Information Report, with the police, who investigate the crime, after which a case is filed in the court. If found guilty, the accused can be sent to jail and also fined. According to civil law, it deals with any harm or injury to rights of individuals. For example, disputes relating to sale of land, purchase of goods, rent matters, or diverse cases. In this case, a petition has to be filed before the relevant court by the affected party only. In a rent matter, either the landlord or tenant can file a case. The court gives the specific relief asked for. For instance, in a case between a landlord and a tenant, the court can order that flat to be vacated and pending rent to be paid. Accessibility to the courts. In principle, all citizens of India can access the courts in this country. This implies that every citizen has a right to justice through the courts. If any citizen believes that their rights are being violated, then they can approach the court for justice to be done. The Supreme Court in the early 1980s devised a mechanism of public interest litigation, otherwise known as PIL, to increase access to justice. It allowed any individual or organization to file a PIL in the High Court or the Supreme Court on behalf of those whose rights were being violated. In the early years, PIL was used to secure justice on a large number of issues such as rescuing bonded laborers from inhuman work conditions. The midday meal that children now receive in government and government aided school is because of this PIL. It directed the government to provide more employment, to provide food at cheaper prices through the government ration shops, and to provide midday meals to children. It also appointed 2 food commissioners to report on the implementation of government schemes. Right to livelihood. The judgment of the Olga Tellis vs. Bombay Municipal Corporation established the right to livelihood as part of the right to live. The following concerns from the judgment point to the ways in which the judges linked the issue of the right to life to that of livelihood. The eviction of a person from a payment or slum will inevitably lead to the deprivation of his means of livelihood is a proposition which does not have to be established in each individual case. The conclusion therefore is that the eviction of the petitioners will lead to the deprivation of their livelihood and consequently to the deprivation of life. Thus, a livelihood is a human right. Another example, justice delayed, injustice denied. This is the case study of 43 Muslims in which the family members at Meerut were killed on 22nd May 1987. These families have been seeking justice for over 20 years. Due to long delay in the commencement of the trial, the Supreme Court in September 2002 transferred the case from the state of Uttar Pradesh to Delhi. The trial is ongoing and 19 Provincial Armed Constabulary, that is PAC, men are facing criminal prosecution for alleged murder and other offences. By 2007 only, 3 prosecution witnesses had been examined. Now, let us see the role of judiciary. The judiciary has played a crucial role in democratic India, serving as a check on the powers of the executive and the legislature, as well as in protecting the fundamental rights of the citizens. The members of the Constituent Assembly had quite correctly envisioned a system of courts with an independent judiciary as a key feature of our democracy. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.